Regis Prograis picking Devin Haney to outbox Brian Norman Jr. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Listen, come in, subscribe, all the good stuff. Regis Prograis did a brand new interview with Fight Hub TV, and he's given his opinion on a potential fight. Well, not potential. They are fighting in November. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr., who's a WBO champion. And my thing is this. Regis Prograis is leaning towards Devin Haney, and he believes Devin Haney will outbox Brian Norman. Now, I can't really say like this is out of the realm of possibilities. Devin's a good fighter. Devin is a boxer. But here's the thing. And check out my reaction to the Mean Machine. The reaction Mean Machine gave about Canelo Crawford. Because it is exactly what I said in that video applies here. And I gave an example, but this video came out after. So it just goes to show you I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. I say things and then they happen. Again, I've already made a video about Mean Machine and his thoughts on Crawford Canelo. And in that video, if you haven't seen it, check it on the channel. But the same rules apply. You have Mean Machine. He's giving his opinion on a fight that involves a fighter that fought him and a fighter who beat him in Terrence Bud Crawford. So he switched up totally. Before he was saying that he don't see how Crawford wins and all this type of stuff. Then he switched up, and now he's saying that Crawford will edge Canelo Alvarez. Again, possible. Listen, when you have a fight, you have two people, two able people. So technically it's 50-50, right? Meaning this guy can win, this guy can win. You have to pick one of the two. These two people, it's only two people fighting. So in a pie graph, if there's 100%, even if you favor a person, technically, bare bones, this guy has a chance to win, this guy has a chance to win. One punch can change anything, blah, blah, blah. So it's 50-50. So Mean Machine is siding with the guy that beat him. And I called that out. Now, fast forward to the future, another interview with a different fighter and a different fight, Regis Prograis, the guy that schooled him, which is Devin Haney, and I was at that fight. That guy is in a anticipated fight with Brian Norman Jr., and then the guy who got beat by Devin Haney is saying that Devin is going to outbox him. You can believe whatever you want, but I'm telling you my honest opinion. I have a very hard time with listening and believing in commentary when a person has an inherent bias and an obvious reason to side with the person, right? That's why people say whatever they want about YouTubers. They be like, oh, YouTubers get a bad rap. YouTubers, you don't know anything about boxing. You silly YouTubers, blah, blah, blah. I can't speak for every YouTuber, but I know what I do over here. And I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. If you listen to what I say, how I break it down, I'm always level-headed. I show objectivity, and we get it cracking, right? And here's the thing. In all of these cases, I don't have a horse in the race. I know people are going to tell you whatever they want. That's fine. I'm an online public personality. So it comes with the territory. But I assure you, none of my fight predictions, if I give a fight prediction, is based on what I think will truly happen rather than, oh, I like this guy or I like his style better, pause, and any type of bias. Most people cannot curb their enthusiasm and their emotions long enough to give good boxing takes. So whoever they resonate with, or like, I see it also sometimes where a fighter who has no power, then there's another fighter with no power, like let's say Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, they'll almost resonate with that person over the power puncher, right? So if you ask a guy with no power like Paulie Malignaggi about Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis, I guarantee you Paulie will side with Shakur Stevenson. It's not that Shakur has no chance to win, but I feel like sometimes fighters see a little bit of themselves in certain fighters, so they naturally are inclined to kind of believe in the style that mimics their own a bit better, right? Like, when's the last time you seen a non-puncher, somebody who had no pop, and they're actively in a matchup like Better Bia versus Bivol, they're going with the bigger puncher? Maybe it happens occasionally, but I feel like if there's 10 fights, majority of the time, they'll almost pick the style that is closer to what they do, right? And it's no different when you have like a Regis Prograis. You got spanked by Devin Haney, and then now you're siding with Devin Haney. You've never been in the ring with Brian Norman Jr., so you've only seen whatever you've seen. So I get it. Some people were like, oh, you're not a professional fighter. You're just a YouTuber. You don't know. But some of these professional fighters have clear-cut either agendas or they have inherent biases that prevent them from picking. Like, I remember Jose Cito Lopez, right? Jose Cito Lopez, the Riverside Rocky, he was like, Mikey Garcia is going to beat Errol Spence Jr. You can find the videos online. For me, Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, I like Mikey Garcia. I've interviewed Mikey Garcia. Actually, when I first started, Mikey was one of the first champions that I've ever interviewed, right? So I appreciate and respect Mikey. I appreciate and respect Errol Spence Jr. But the reality is, for me, that was a very easy fight to give a prediction for. Super easy. Like, the moment, even before the fight was announced, when Mikey was on radio shows and podcasts calling out Errol Spence, I was like, bad idea, bad idea. And I didn't see why people wanted to see the fight. But then the networks liked it, the AT&T Stadium liked it or whatever, and it came into fruition and we got the fight. But for me, super easy fight for me to predict. But Jose Cito Lopez, the Riverside Rocky, who kind of came up with Mikey Garcia, they had the same trainer at a point, and they're both Mexican-American. They train together. They're friends. Of course, he's going to side with his boy, so to speak. One guy from Riverside, one guy from Oxnard, two SoCal dudes, etc. But me, the YouTuber, got my prediction 100% right because I didn't have a horse in the race. So I'm trying to tell you guys, that's what happens more often than you think. People think, oh, man, because it's a celebrity boxer, that their opinion is automatically going to be a worthy, ideal opinion. But I notice a lot of times that's not the case because there's these strict and very stern inherent biases that they let overtake their opinion and emotion. Like Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley talks about Terrence Crawford and he's like, Terrence Crawford can do no wrong type because Terrence whooped him in sparring or whatever, right? So you're not necessarily going to get a realistic opinion out of this. Bradley has no background sparring Canelo Alvarez or fighting Canelo Alvarez. You see what I'm saying? So his affinity is to Terrence Crawford. You guys were both with Top Rank. Canelo never fought on Top Rank. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I noticed. We'll see. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. I've already said what I feel. It's a super difficult fight. Right now, I'm leaning towards Brian Norman Jr. I don't think Devin has fought anyone remotely close to what Brian Norman possesses. Yes, Brian is lacking the higher quality names, but that can all change in one night. So no matter what happens, I think it's a dangerous fight, and I don't think it'll be an easy fight for Devin Haney. For more breakdowns and valid opinion that usually comes true, subscribe to Boxing Ego. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay, engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that.